What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Two Game Podcast. This is episode number 116. I am joined here today. This is a three-way. I got Chris Norman
Hello, hello.
and Christian Valencia.
Hey, guys.
And on this week's episode, I promised it last week, and we're going to actually, for once, hold up our end of the bargain and talk about the showcase from PlayStation. The showcase happened last week, the day that we recorded, and we just didn't have enough time to research it at the time. So we pushed it off till this week. And yeah, Chris is on. I don't want to say I'm not opposed to you being on, because I love it when you're on the podcast. But we had a Breaking Benjamin ranked albums episode for the Wall of the Dead podcast. I can't fucking talk. That is a Patreon exclusive podcast. So patreon.com/2game if you want to listen to that, to all of our album reviews. But he's joining us today mainly because of that, but brought him on for this episode as well because he just got a PlayStation 5 here recently. So he's now a Sony pony.
As they say.
As they say. So yes, we are going to be talking about nothing but PlayStation and their showcase today. At the back end of the episode, if we have a little bit of time, we'll kind of give you our other thoughts on Tears of the Kingdom. Christian just bought that game last week, so he's been playing through it. I'm about 35 hours into the game right now.
How do you check that again?
You have to check it on your Switch, apparently. You can't find out from the game itself.
You go to your... You know how you have your little pictures on the top left of all your profiles?
Yeah.
Yeah, click on your profile, and it'll tell you. But yes, guys, we're not going to be doing a playlist this week, just because, look, I said we were going to do the Wall of Death podcast under 30 minutes. It ended up being almost a fucking hour. So we don't have the time. We're just going to skip the playlist for this week, and we're just going to talk straight up PlayStation. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So just in case we have enough time to talk about Tears of the Kingdom. The showcase happened on May 24th, and it was highly anticipated. Okay, it wasn't a state of play talking about some bullshit games. No, this was their E3 type showcase, and everybody was excited about it, including me. Just overall impressions of the showcase, guys. I thought it was okay. I mean, it's not anything to write home about. I think their heavy hitters were fucking heavy hitters, but outside of that, not a whole lot of games coming out that I was super intrigued by. What about you, Chris?
About the same. I mean, it was honestly outside of the 3 to 4 big ones, it was hit or miss with more misses than hits. But I mean, it was enough to keep my attention. Don't get me wrong. There's a few things that I'm at least intrigued by, and a couple that I already know I want, and there's a handful that I'm curious to just see more about. So, to be an hour and 15 minutes, I thought it was pretty good because I was invested enough that I watched the whole thing. I've attempted to do that in the past and gotten 40 minutes into it and just been like, nope, I'm good. Just fast forward to the end, see what the last one is. But
that's fair.
What about you, Christian?
I watched certain ones because I looked at the list when it dropped that day of, and there was only 3 or 4 that really stood out. So I just skipped to those and watched those and was pretty hyped about the 4 that I wanted. Other than that, I mean, they really need to do a little better on production, but I mean, it's PlayStation. It's not like they don't have a lot of money.
True that.
They're too busy trying to cancel out Xbox.
Yeah, that's all their money.
You're not wrong.
So yes, let's go ahead and jump into the actual showcase. So we're gonna save the heavy hitters. There's like 3 of them for the very end of this segment. So I'm just gonna go through this list of. It's gonna be in order of the showcase as it happened. These are kind of the games that were worth talking about, or the ones that I thought maybe other people would be interested in, not necessarily me. But we'll go through it. The first game that really intrigued me was Phantom Blade Zero. It's a hack and slash RPG where it's set in the Phantom world, a place where Chinese kung fu, steampunk, etc. converge. It's a semi-open world game. It looks like it has a mix of Sekiro and Final Fantasy VII Remake in there with the combat. Pretty fucking dope. Fast, action-paced gameplay. Did y'all?
Oh, I enjoyed
Like
the
any of
watching
that?
of that. I liked the fast-paced sword slashing shit. But if it plays anything like Sekiro, I'm not gonna play it.
Well, I mean, aesthetic
I
wise.
mean, I agree with you, but if it's gonna be like an RPG like that, from what I heard, it's gonna be like Sekiro. From what I've heard.
You know,
Yeah, I
Sekiro would
didn't
be in
know
my
that.
Sekiro would be in my top 10 if I could ever fucking finish that game.
Yeah, my statement stands.
Like it would be top 5.
We saw how well Elden Ring went. Still haven't beat that game. The only reason I got it as far as I did because of you.
I'm telling you, sir, you just need to let it happen. We need to get back into that game.
Sure.
I
I'm
need
gonna
your
write
help on
on
beating
that.
Melania. I fucking need you.
We'll get right on that.
I need one more trophy for the platinum.
It sucks to suck.
He said, "Sorry about you."
That's not even downloaded on my PlayStation anymore.
I swear to God.
Sir, fucking Survivor took so much fucking space. Fuck you.
That much space, huh?
Well, and that and Diablo.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
bet
dude.
Diablo took a lot.
Dude, that comes out in 3 days for you, man.
I know, I'm so excited.
I'm saving myself. I need that steelbook.
You can save yourself all you want. I'm still gonna play it. Be like level 30 by the time you get on there.
Well, I
Speed
don't
run.
want to look. Let's just segue into it, okay? Let's be organic here. Final Fantasy,
Technically
16.
Diablo and all that is on PlayStation, so it's good to talk to. Just saying.
Final Fantasy 16. All right. There is this huge fucking ordeal that I'm a conundrum that I'm kind of feeling right now, and that is the fact that Diablo 4 comes out a week, 2 weeks beforehand,
Yeah.
and then
I
Final
agree with you.
Final Fantasy 16 comes out June 22nd. Dude, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to pick.
I mean, you could play with your friends on Diablo when they're on, and then when they're not on, you play Final Fantasy. It's easy fix.
That is honestly a good point. I mean, we talked about this, and the reason that I'm going Final Fantasy 16 is because I already know I don't have the time to put into Diablo. But if you've got the time to cycle back and forth, then yeah, why the hell not, man? Go for it.
I don't have the time. That's the issue.
Oh well, then you're kind of fucked. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
suck. Get good, kid.
Then you're kind of like me. So I mean, that's why I'm gonna play Tears of the Kingdom until Final Fantasy 16 comes out, and then I'm just gonna play that when I have time. But I already know I'm not gonna have the time to put into Diablo. So
Yeah.
like for me personally, it wasn't a choice. But if I could, I would definitely play them both.
So I was excited about Final Fantasy 16 beforehand, okay? Before the showcase. Like super hyped for it. I mean, I think we did a episode not weekly recommendations. We did a episode earlier this year about our like most anticipated games, or maybe it was last year or something like that. And it was one of my most anticipated games. I was excited about it, but when I played Diablo 4, that excitement kind of waned a little bit because I was like, oh, I'm fucking playing Diablo 4 first, man. That fucking game looks fucking dope. After watching this showcase,
it
looks so fucking good.
It does.
Dude, those summons just look. God, they look. It just looked aesthetically incredible.
Yes, the graphics look super good.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this game is coming out on PS5 on June 22nd. It has a more mature. I think it's actually M for mature.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure.
So,
wow.
You know, when you kind of look back on some of the Final Fantasy games, I haven't played them all. I played 7 Remake, 10, 12, and it definitely. I'm not gonna say it has a kiddie feel to it, but it definitely has a teen feel to it. You know, they don't really go into those mature themes whatsoever. And from what I've heard about this game, story wise, it deals with backstabbing, sex, politics. It is being compared to Game of Thrones in that sense. And I am 100% there for it. They just recently let a bunch of creators put out some some gameplay and stuff like that on YouTube. So if y'all want to look at like the combat and whatnot, go look it on YouTube. I looked at Fighting Cowboy, was kind of the guy, my go-to guy for gameplay wise, but it just looks great. It takes place in the realm of Valisthea. I'm probably saying that wrong, but y'all know what y'all can go do. Go fuck yourselves. And it follows Clive Rossfield throughout 3 stages of his life, teens, 20s, and 30s. It is a return to the medieval fantasy and a search for crystals and shit like that. It's got the action-based real-time battle system from Final Fantasy VII Remake, but apparently they've expanded on that like a lot, and it's got a expansive skill tree. So no spear grid, nothing like that. It's just gonna be a skill tree, which, Chris, you and I have talked about it a lot. Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy 12. I did not like the spear grid when I first played 10, but when we went through our deep dive series, the spear grid 100% grew on me, and I liked it a lot more than the. I wouldn't say I liked it a lot more. They do vastly different things, but the checkerboard thing with 12, I have like a love-hate relationship with it. What about y'all? Y'all interested in the spear grid, the checkerboard, or the just the traditional skill tree?
I'm for traditional skill tree all day. Make it simple. I mean, you're there for the story, not for the fucking skills. I'm just sorry. I'm saying.
I agree and I disagree. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, obviously the old school level ups, like the checkerboard skill tree from 12 and the sphere grid, hit home for me because that's the Final Fantasy I'm used to. So, I mean, it's going to be a different adjustment, but at the same time, I'm just so excited for this game, and I'm trying to go into it with an open mind because the combat's going to be different, the leveling system's going to be different, but the world's going to be different. I mean, just watching this preview, man, and some of the gameplay, it is dark as F. I mean, this is not. Think about Spira, and I mean, for Final Fantasy purposes, Final Fantasy 12 was actually kind of a darker setting, but this one's just going to be a new level, man. Like, I mean, chocobos and moogles have just gone extinct, and the world is burning down around you, you know? So I'm trying to go into the whole game with an open mind. I don't know.
I can see that.
You know, like, again, to choose one or the other, I really couldn't tell you.
I just feel like
I don't think I would. I wouldn't
opinion.
enjoy the sphere grid with anything outside of Final Fantasy X, I don't think. So I'm okay with it not being that. And I really don't have a problem with basic skill trees after ripping through 350 hours of the Xenoblade trilogy. You know, so I'm game for whatever.
Let me ask y'all this.
You're going through an M rated, which is not normal for a Final Fantasy, and it's going to be dark. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fucking tomfoolery going on. I don't want to spend my time fucking going through a fucking vast skill tree / other things to do this and do that when I'm fucking focused on something going on.
Same. Well, apparently they have I think they're called Titan abilities or some shit, and it's like special moves and shit like that.
I'll show you a special move.
Trust me, it's not gonna last long.
I got mine.
It's gonna be one of those that peters out.
Is it a Titan ability? I bet it will peter out. I bet it'll peter right out.
I'm so tired.
So let me ask y'all this. Is there any reality, alternate universe where this game absolutely fails?
I don't think so.
Or do you think, like, without a doubt, if it just shows up to the game, no pun intended, just shows up to the field, it's going to get an 8 out of 10 at least?
I don't know.
I would like to say no, but I think signing its name on the test is going to get it a B. You know, I personally didn't care for Final Fantasy 15. I invested a lot of time into it, but that is a very unpopular opinion. People that, I know I'm wrong for it, but I just personally didn't like it a lot. So
enjoyed the
any
shit out of
issue
that.
I had with it, everybody else thought was awesome, and any issue that other people have out of older school Final Fantasy games, I think are awesome. So I think if there is a chance for it to flop, it's going to be with the people like me who prefer the old way. But even so, every single installment of that game evolves so much that there's something in them for everybody that plays the series. So I don't think it can ultimately fail. I think it may let some people down, but I think every game's going to do that. But I don't think it's going to fail by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think it can.
I think it gets an 8 out of 10, just writing its name on the test, like you said.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Because the story looks fucking great. Looks great. And if it's anything like Game of Thrones and there's some backstabbing and sex in there, sign me to fuck up.
Old dude looks like Dante from Devil May Cry.
He does.
Yes. Oh, so hot.
I was like, yep, I'm there for that. That's cool. That's cool.
All right. Sword of the Sea. Developers of Abzu and the Pathless. Visually, it looks really great. Visually. This is not going to be my cup of tea. I'm not going to play this game. I played a little bit of the Pathless. It's a very much a traversal, I guess you can call it platforming type of game. And I played a few hours of it. I never finished it. So the same creators that made that game made this game. And like I said, it looks great. I'm guessing this one's going to be another traversal platformer. And like I said, not my cup of tea. Looks great, though, for other people. Were y'all interested in this game?
Nope, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Nope.
Then we had Foamstars, which is the biggest fucking ripoff of Splatoon. This is one of those, hey, man, you caught my homework. Just make it look a little different. And they fucking made it really a little different.
Can you just, I imagine that development team sitting at a meeting going, guys, Nintendo's actually making money off this fucking paint game. Like, let's just make a foam one. Apparently people enjoy it. Suds that shit up, man. Like, I don't know.
The aesthetics,
wax on,
the
wax
colors,
off, motherfucker. Like,
the colors all look the same. The guns, the gameplay, all that looks the same. The only difference is it's foam versus paint.
Is that
really? Yeah, pretty much.
You spin enough paint around, you get some foam. I'm just saying. It's a prequel.
Yes.
A prequel.
When you've done it 5 times, it just spits out. It just.
Oh.
I think it's chalk at that point, right?
Shooting blanks.
Yeah, quite the ripoff. I was laughing hysterically watching that preview.
Yeah, they're probably sitting in that meeting. Hey guys, look, I got this fucking great idea. How about we have like a shooter game where they shoot out foam all over the place, and it's gonna be it's fucking vibrant colors and all this, and they're like, that kind of sounds like Splatoon. No. It's not like Splatoon whatsoever. Okay, it's completely fucking different.
It's not paint. It's foam.
It's so much foam.
God,
I can't.
Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Okay, I've never played any of the Metal Gear Solid games. Never played them, so I don't have any invested interest in this. Snake Eater is allegedly a remake from the ground up. No release date as of yet. And they also released a Master Collection Volume 1, which is going to have Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and then Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, the OG one, I guess. What about y'all? Y'all interested in some MGS?
Oh, yeah. All day.
In the trio, are the first 2 going to be remastered?
No.
At least they're not. It's just literally going to be.
They're going to be like retouched up, but nothing like the.
Oh, that's what I meant. Just like graphically, will they at least be upgraded? Because I couldn't go back and just play them now, looking like they did at the time. They were great when I was 12.
I don't think so. I just think it's going to be more just a little touched up digitally, but other than that, no.
I will say I'm interested in Snake Eater because I did love that series, and if it's a full evolution from a 20-year gap, I'm going to check it out, but I'm going to need to see some of it first, just to be certain.
Yeah, it's definitely from what I play, because I play the shit out of Snake Eater. And if they're gonna keep a lot of what they had previously and then throw a little fucking Final Fantasy remake cosmetic, I'm down for that all day. Just seeing the still shots and some of the game, not gameplay, but some of it from what previously and to what's the new ones coming out, it looks so good. I hope they keep the story. I mean, for the most part, but it's gonna be fucking fantastic.
Apparently, Kojima is not involved in it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
So I have no horse in this race. I've never played any of the Metal Gear games, and they're not typically my cup of tea.
There's a lot of talking. A lot of talking.
That genre of games is not my cup of tea. But I mean, we do a podcast now, so I'm kind of obligated to check this shit out. But when it comes out, or let me rephrase that. When they release a gameplay trailer, I'll kind of make my decision based off that. But as of right now, I'm probably not checking it out. I'll let Christian carry that load. Shout out.
I'll do it willingly.
Well, take that load and report back because I am curious.
Oh, okay. Oh no! Oh no!
Alan Wake 2. So I'd heard this game got announced, and I didn't think anything of it. It was second game, so I wasn't all that intrigued by it. But when I watched the showcase and I watched what it was, I didn't know what Alan Wake was, to be honest with you. I had heard of it before, but I never saw a gameplay of whatnot. And I saw this showcase. The trailer for this was fucking dope. It is actually, I'm very surprised. This is one of my most interested games of the showcase. And there is a 80% chance that I'm going to check this game out when it releases on October 17th. It looks creepy as fuck. It does look horrifying. Psychological horror mindfuck is what it looks like. It's a survival horror game, which according to some of the developers, the first game was more action horror rather than survival horror. So it's going to be a little bit of a different different genre to this game. And I'm thinking about going back and playing the first one now that I've seen this one, even though it's going to be kind of different in terms of the genre. But to get that story feel, I may go check it out because it looks like they're investigating some shit. Apparently he's in like, I forget, some alternate world or some shit. I didn't look too much into it, but it looks fucking good. What about y'all?
It was definitely a cross between Resident Evil and Silent Hill, is basically what Alan Wake is.
Interesting. I didn't realize that.
That's where it's kind of stemmed from, because you have that shooter from Resident Evil, but then you have that alternate reality from Silent Hill that you would go into during Silent Hill.
And if they throw psychological on top of this one, it's going to kind of put it in the Evil Within category.
Correct.
Interesting. All right. Well, I mean, I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm kind of like you. I kind of want to go back and play the first one because I never did. But dude, I'm telling you, that game had a huge cult following.
It did.
Like for a lot of people, that was probably the biggest announcement in this whole showcase.
Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, I was getting, I'm not gonna say chills or anything like that, but when the detective was going through that little room and the fucking
with the flashlight, oh yeah,
fucking dropped down from the ceiling, I was like, bro, fucking sign me up for that shit. I want to be scared shitless.
Right.
I am a glutton for punishment when it comes to my horror games.
So apparently it got remastered in February 2012 for PlayStation 5. Alan Wake, the first one.
How much is it?
It's probably like $8 too. It's probably dirt cheap.
Alan Wake is described as Remedy as a mind fucking thriller, cinematic action game, blah 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 blah. All the shit we just talked about. Basically, like I said, fucking Resident Evil /
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill. Trying to find a price.
I've never played Silent Hill. Is that
Silent Hill's a good one too for you to play.
Silent Hill's terrifying, but in a
It
good
is
way.
fucking terrifying. It is. It's so good.
Never seen it. I haven't played it. I haven't seen the movies either. But I'm assuming
Silent Hills are
I'm assuming the Silent Hill movies suck.
Yeah, they do.
They're
Compared to the
not
game,
grand. No,
They're not grand.
You
not
can buy
grand.
the PlayStation 5
not as good as the
version
game.
for $28 remastered at GameStop.
Is it? Oh,
The
I
remastered
never thought it
28.
would still cost that much, even to
Yeah.
be a remaster. I mean,
And on
probably not coming
PlayStation
down now.
5, on like the thing, it's $30 on the store.
on the store. Damn.
Yeah, $30 and 27 for at GameStop.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and after
That's
they
the
announced
remaster.
that,
That's
it's
the
not coming
remaster
down
one.
either. So
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
But I played a demo of it and it was pretty entertaining. Scared the shit out of me a couple times, which was fantastic, but either there.
Fuck
Nice.
you.
Right.
Still one of my all-time greatest lines in a video game. Because Chris, I don't know. Have you ever played Resident Evil Biohazard?
that was 7.
7.
Yeah, I played 7 a long time ago,
Yeah.
right when it was fresh.
Yeah, just because you had that mindset of like, fuck this game. And then when he said, fuck you, I was like, yes, that's how I fucking feel, man.
That's
I've-
exactly
if-
how I feel.
A game has never felt more real for me.
You just described my last 17 hours. Thank you.
Assassin's Creed Mirage. I've played a little bit of Assassin's Creed. Which one was it? The one during the Civil War? Was that 2, 3, 4?
It's 3.
The Civil
3.
War was it 3? Yeah.
Oh, not Civil War.
Or I mean, the Revolutionary War.
War. Yeah.
Mhm.
Played through that a little bit. Look, not typically my cup of tea, but there's a lot of assassins and stealth shit in this. And apparently there's a thing called Assassin's Focus, which you can mark and assassinate several people in a row. Pretty dope. If it's definitely a like I said, it's not the typical game that I go to. If I'm going to do like stealth, like in like The Last of Us, then that's kind of where I get my stealth kick out of. But this game looks great, and apparently it's smaller in scale in comparison to the other games. I mean, they have taken like 3 years off, I think, from what the fuck was the Vikings one?
Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Didn't play that. Well, let me rephrase that. I haven't played any of them, but I don't know. I don't need every game to be 60 to 80 hours. That's just me personally.
Right. Well, I'm
Okay.
excited about this one because it looks like they took a step back to their roots. Aesthetically, it looks like a graphically upgraded version of the original Assassin's Creed. And outside of Black Flag, which is just the best. Black Flag is my favorite one by far, but the first one was the best one. So I'm actually excited for it. If they're gonna take, I know they can't copy and duplicate the plot, but if they're gonna take the aesthetic and the smaller world size from the first game and just give me 15 years of upgrades to combat and abilities to add to it, 100% there for it.
I agree. I'm 100%. I played all of them. Black Flag was definitely my favorite.
Yes, sir.
But fun. The first one, if they just went and just redid that one, even that one and the Ezio collection, that would be fantastic. Because Ezio
was cool.
definitely. But I think this one's based in India, is it, or in India or something like that? What it looked
Yep.
like.
I think the central city looked like Abu Dhabi, just from the.
I do like the fact that they change the scenery and the region a lot instead of keeping like the same region.
Right.
But other than that, it's an Assassin's Creed game. I don't know what to expect, but I expect me climbing up walls and assassinating people. It's just
Yes.
and then
There's a
missing
formula.
jumps like fucking every Assassin's Creed. You miss a jump or a grab every fucking time and you die.
So
True
the
that.
next game that we're going to talk about, guys, this is probably the most hyped game out of the showcase, not one of the big announcements, okay? Granblue Fantasy Relink. This game looks fucking dope. Does it have the potential to be a complete garbage game? It fucking 100% has that ability. But from what I've seen, this is going to fucking, it's going to fuck. Plain and simple. It's absolutely going to fuck. It comes out winter of this year. To me, this is a cross between a Tales game, a Final Fantasy game, and then like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It has that aesthetic of all that, the gameplay of all that. You have a party that when you're not controlling them or you don't have anybody playing with you, they're just doing their random shit and helping you fight and shit like that. So fucking game looks aesthetically pleasing. It definitely has that anime feel to it, which is kind of why I'm a little reserved about it and say it has that ability to be absolute garbage, because typically anime games are not that good. Plain and simple.
Played enough JRPG games, sir. I agree.
The bosses look, the fights with those, the cinematic pieces and whatnot look pretty fucking dope. So I did some research on it outside of the trailer. It takes place in the Sky Realm, full of floating islands. Just saying, Xenoblade.
Huh.
Kinda.
A little bit.
The islands are guarded by powerful creatures known as Primal Beast. This is specifically taking place in the Zega Grande Skydom.
That sounds
and there's also this secretive organization known as the Church of Avia. I'm probably saying that wrong. But you're going on an adventure to unveil a web of intrigue and engage in the battle of the fate of the Sky Realm. Bro, that is anime as fuck. Sign me to fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it looks like a Switch grade anime game with a PlayStation 5 graphics card. I'm there for it, you know?
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this game, I knew Christian was gonna play it anyways, but
It's true.
the first person I thought about was Chris.
Thank you, sir.
I'm playing the shit out
I was
of
like,
it grabbed my attention as well.
I was like, this seems like a Chris game.
I'm going to give it a shot. That was definitely one that I had a star by.
Indeed.
If it flops, it's going to be because of the combat, because I couldn't really tell from the trailer exactly how the combat's going to be oriented. But as long as the combat holds up, I don't see how the aesthetic or the story could bomb it. So I'm excited about it.
You're losing your connection over there, sir, Chris.
Indeed. You got like one bar, lad.
Did I come back? Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm in a tin can of a building.
Moving on to Ultros. It's a side-scrolling platformer Metroidvania. I'm just gonna put it like this: y'all have played Hollow Knight, right? This is a colorful fucking version of Hollow Knight. It looks just like Hollow Knight, but with colors. 100%. And
the note I put for it says, "Go ahead." Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say the literal note that I wrote for it is Hollow Knight meets Metroid while tripping on LSD.
Yep, I agree.
I can't say anything more to that.
It looked really cool though. I'm excited about it.
Yes. It looks like the gameplay, like the feel of it, has that Metroid aspect of it, but the aesthetics and whatnot, it definitely looks like it has the Hollow Knight on LSD. Dragon's Dogma 2 looks really good. Not much else is known about it. I mean, there's fucking dragons, swords, magic. Typical fantasy style game. Looks great. I've never played the original, but a lot of people love that game.
It's like whatchamacallit, Elden Ring. Not Elden Ring, sorry. Fuck the Skyrim.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks a lot like Skyrim.
Yeah, I played the first one a lot, and it's like Skyrim and Oblivion and all this other on that series. It's just it's a lot darker, like color wise. Other than that,
How was the overall experience in comparison to like Oblivion?
it was like playing.
Or
It was like Oblivion with you actually have people with you.
So is it kind of like Dragon Age?
Yes.
Okay. That's kind of what I guessed from the trailer, but I had no knowledge of this game beforehand, so I had no idea.
It came out a long time ago on Xbox One. No,
360.
Yeah, One.
It came out over 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's old. I bought it on the store for like $5 and played it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people are hyped about this game. A lot of people. I don't have a horse in this race. I never played the original. I've heard about it. I've never really showed interest in it. But if I see some more gameplay and it looks fucking as good as this, then I'm probably gonna have to check it out. I think, is it on Switch?
I think it will.
Couldn't begin to tell you.
I think it will be.
I can't remember if it's on the Switch or not. If it's on the Switch, fucking yeah, 100%. I'm gonna play that.
I'll look. Hold on.
One day I will buy the Steam Deck and I can fucking play through a whole bunch of games. One day when I have that money.
Steam Deck would be cool.
The last and final game, unless y'all have some other games that y'all saw that I haven't mentioned so far, Spider-Man 2. Chris, have you played Spider-Man?
I have not. I'm going to now, though. Trust me. I had already been told to by several people, but when I saw the preview for 2, I was like, well, gotta catch up now because I'm playing that shit.
The story for Spider-Man, the first one, is so good. And then you need to play Miles Morales after that. But I can let you borrow that one if you want.
Okay.
Actually, I can let you borrow both.
Thank you,
I
sir.
have both.
I will not argue. I will not argue with not having to spend money.
So there was a lengthy showcase to end the whole showcase, and it was, I don't know, like 13 minutes long or some shit like that. Coming out in fall 2023. Don't have a specific date. Don't even have pre-orders up yet. But Kraven the Hunter, was not expecting him to be the main villain. I was expecting Venom, to be honest with you. But here's my thing with Kraven the Hunter. I've never been a huge Kraven the Hunter fan. I mean, I like him. He's one of the OG Rose Gallery, right? And I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. What they did in this trailer was me becoming a Kraven the Hunter fan.
Yep. 100%.
In the span of just a couple of minutes. I was like, this dude looks scary as shit. He is going to wreck Spider-Man's world.
Yep. I see that.
So they've already set the stage that this feels like it's going to be more violent than the first game, which I'm 100% there for. And a lot of things got kind of shown in this trailer and the gameplay trailer. One, we have the symbiote suit, which looks dope. You get to do different abilities with that. It's great. But we also get added gameplay with, in more depth, with Miles Morales joining the fight. So, Chris, in the first game, this isn't a spoiler. This is honestly, it's just it's just a bad part of the game. You play as Mary Jane for a segment in that game, which, by the way, if we don't have a Mary Jane segment in this game, it'll be fucking fantastic.
Perfect.
Okay, that bad, huh? All right.
Bad is horrible.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the weaker aspects of the game. You also get a chance to be Miles in that game, not as Spider-Man, but as Miles. And also one of the weakest. It's probably weaker than the Mary Jane segment, honestly. But then you play Miles Morales outside of that, and he's Spider-Man in that game, and that's fucking great. And it's like, I don't know, it's like a 6-hour long game, the Miles Morales version.
Yep.
But in this one, the new one, in the
Sounds
second one,
very interesting.
it looks like, I don't know if they're going to have like timed events where you swap back and forth, or I'm assuming that's the case. But like the chase sequences, you're swinging as Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden it'll make you click over to Miles Morales. That is so fucking cool. I'm trying to think of a game that we have had before where you can just do that like instantly like that.
Just flip flop. Yep.
That's gonna be dope. Gonna be dope. The also added gameplay element is you can make your own tightropes with webs. That is not something that I knew I wanted, but it's something that I feel like should have been there the entire time.
I was watching that and I was wondering if that was just in the first game or not, because they made sure you saw that you could do it like 4 times when they showed the gameplay. So that's like that. I assumed it might be a new thing, but it looked cool as shit.
No, it was not in the first game.
It was not. Definitely not in the first game.
I saw that. I was like, bro, I didn't know that's
so
something
many
I wanted.
problems.
Right? I can literally slaughter all these people now.
Right? I could Batman the fuck out of these peoples.
Right. So, one thing that I loved about the trailer, obviously he has the black suit and it's changing his personality, which is what it should be doing. Hopefully we don't get any fucking dance segments out of it. But you could tell he had a different voice. He had more anger to his voice. And then there's even a segment where he saves somebody and he just fucking tosses him to the ground. I was like, bro.
How he talks to Miles was fucking just different too.
Yes. And that to me got me super hyped for this fucking game. Just that alone amplified my hype, because that is going to bring some great story moments, and it's going to highlight some great aspects of the black suit and just some of my favorite things about Spider-Man in general. The dude doesn't give a fuck. He's just, I'm gonna save your ass, but I don't fucking give a shit about you. I'm just gonna throw you down.
He straight dropped that dude when they landed. That was funny.
And you
You're
see
welcome.
Miles kind of look. Miles was like, God damn.
I mean, I guess he's still alive, but
right? I still saved him.
Right.
So one other thing that I want to say, and I'll let y'all kind of talk about your stuff. They had a chase sequence towards the end of this trailer where you're chasing the villain, and then it flip-flops, and now you're being chased by said villain. Again, I didn't know that's something that I wanted in a game, but that is fucking cool. That is. Look, I'm jerking Spider-Man 2 off, okay? I completely understand that. But to me, it's just something different that we haven't gotten in a game before. And it definitely adds a little bit of spice to the gameplay. But what do y'all think about Spider-Man 2 other than it looking fucking amazing?
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say because I haven't played the first one yet, but it did look fucking amazing. Again, I am going to just have to figure out a way to, even if I got to put off Horizon in my free time to do it, because I've essentially just given up on trying to get into that game at this point. But I might just play Spider-Man and the Miles game first because I'm so excited for this one. I mean, it just looked awesome.
I like
cinematically,
the
it looked incredible.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I need to. I love that first Spider-Man game. Love it a lot. I don't think it had like the staying power as some of my top 10. So it's probably like right outside my top 10. But story wise, it's as good as anything in my top 10. Story wise, it is. It is
so good.
So good, sir. I have one little nitpick about the story. One little nitpick, but it doesn't take away from it whatsoever. It's still a fucking amazing story. And I won't share that with you since you're hearing spoilers and whatnot. But yeah. That game, I need to go back into that game and play some and try to get like the platinum or some shit like that and see how I feel about it nowadays. But that game is fucking good, sir. It's good.
Yeah, I like the aesthetics of the new one, how they got the symbiote suit like from the comics, pristine, down to the eyes, the teeth to the eyes, everything. They didn't stray away from, oh, we're gonna make our own fucking spider suit, no, it just kept it just perfect. And just his attitude towards it, his attitude changing is it's definitely a seller for me. Because if you make the story just as good as the first one, but then you're adding all this dynamic to it, it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be perfect. Just perfect.
I would say play Spider-Man before you play Forbidden West or Horizon, the original.
All day.
Story-wise, story-wise is better than anything in any of those games.
When does 2 come out? I didn't even see the release date.
Fall this year.
Oh, in the fall. All right. Well,
I would, and if I had to guess, it's going to be September, October.
November,
I would shoot for October. I think the first game came out in September.
That'll give me time then.
If I remember correctly, the first game came out in September.
Usually when they say that shit, it's usually November.
I'm 100% going to be playing Tears until Final Fantasy comes out, so I will try to play Spider-Man just immediately on the heels of Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
I'll try to beat the clock.
It's not a long experience, I promise you. Or ways in one.
Wow.
All right, guys. Weekly recommendations. What do you have there, Chris?
I'm going to, and I normally don't do this because I like to wait till there's 3 or 4 out, but it was a 50-minute one, so I just went ahead and did it. Hit that dub Demon Slayer. Hit it.
Talk about that next week on the podcast.
Cool. Yeah, I watched it. I watched it this morning, and what?
He keeps cutting out.
Yeah, I see that.
He froze. Now it's just a two-way.
Now it's just a two-way.
But yes, I watched about 15, 20 minutes of that Demon Slayer episode. I got to watch 20, 30 minutes of it. So I still have like the second half of it.
Right.
I mean, I already know what happens in it, but I haven't finished it yet. So you and I are going to talk about that next week, sir.
I'm all for it. I'm all for
it. Chris is just frozen in the most bad face.
Just
which
by the fuck out of that.
By the way, guys, if you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, click the link below in the description. That'll send you to our YouTube channel where you can then watch us talk about this on YouTube. And vice versa. If you are watching us on YouTube, you can click the link below. It'll send you to Spotify, and then you can click that episode, or you can go to your favorite podcast listening app. Make sure you like, subscribe, all our content, hit the notification bell so you know when we drop shit. I typically have videos up every single day. So, yeah, go check us out. We would appreciate your subscription there. You can also support us at patreon.com/2game. That is the number 2. Support us at any of those tiers, and you get access to all of our content, our exclusive content at that. And then our Discord, which is where all the shenanigans occurs. Big things are happening in the next couple months, and I'm excited to announce those in the next couple of episodes for sure. So be on the lookout for that. Sir, what is your weekly recommendation?
So I watched some Mizuku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Sir, that is one of those sleeper animes. Dude gets reincarnated, but as a child, but it doesn't show him grow up. He is still a child, but he's got like amazing magical power, but he is constantly getting his ass whooped. He's overpowered, but not in like typical show way. You know how like, oh, power, you can't do nothing to me, you can't touch me. No, this dude constantly gets his ass whipped. Something he goes and they don't practice some magic, some bad thing fucking happens, they get teleported to a demon continent and they have to get back. And like I said, he meets this guy and he agrees to help them, and they train, and yet he still gets his ass whipped. He got all the magical power in the fucking world, but he gets like literally gets his ass whipped. He comes close to death all the time, but he's a huge pervert, and just it's entertaining. Like it's got that serious but that funny back and forth. It's fucking hilarious. Like he'll run around and be like they legit had like some girl getting railed the last episode I watched, and he's like, ooh, what the fuck? It was fucking hilarious. Like, it was
What
fucking
was the name of this one
hilarious.
again?
Musuku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation.
I
It's
fucking
on.
remember that.
It's on my continued watch, and I'll probably put what I'll probably do, since you have my Crunchyroll, is probably just put it on my favorites, and you can just watch it from there.
All right. So I just texted Chris. And I was like, "Hey man, you can jump back in if you want, but we're about to fucking end this episode, right?" So apparently his phone overheated.
How the fuck?
and it kicked him out, bro.
Got
See my
phone.
phone. Sir, you gotta have some porn on there.
Over terabyte.
You gotta train your phone to keep up with it, man.
Oh god.
Oh shit. Well, Chris, if you when you're listening to this, I appreciate you joining us, sir, for this episode.
Indeed. It's amazing.
I'm going to have a cop out for my weekly recommendation, and it's going to be Tears of the Kingdom. I honestly, playlist wise, I didn't have anything different than I have been, and I've only been playing Tears of the Kingdom. I put 35 hours into it, and I've legitimately did not watch a single thing. I watched about 15 minutes of the Demon Slayer thing, but outside of that, I've just been watching like random shit on YouTube, pizza reviews, shit like that. So nothing of note. So playlist wise, didn't really have much to go off of. But Tears of the Kingdom, y'all 100% should go check that out. Next week, Christian and I will probably talk about that a little bit more in depth, because we haven't got his thoughts on it yet, and he should have a lot of time played into it by then. But that's going to be it from us. We appreciate y'all joining us. We appreciate y'all supporting us. Thank you for coming here every single week and listening to us bullshit about games and
Indeed.
Anime shit, nerd shit.
Indeed.
Everything. All the above. But that's going to be it from us, guys, and we will catch y'all next week on another episode. Laters.